Welcome to Theatre Talk. I'm Ed Shopes. Co-host Ann McBride and I are here the first and third Fridays of the month to tell you all about what's happening in the Mid-Willamette Valley theater world. Hello, Ann.
Hi, Ed, and welcome, theater lovers. It's lots of fun bringing you interesting guests to talk about great shows happening at your favorite theaters. Who's on our guest list today, Ed?
Well, joining us on this episode of KMUZ Theatre Talk are director Scott Harvey and actors Linda Cashin and Jennifer Moody to tell us all about the Savannah Sipping Society opening September 15th at Albany Civic Theatre. But first, let's check out our KMUZ Theatre Talk calendar to see what else is on the boards. Ann?
Albany Civic Theatre at albanycivic.org. The Savannah Sipping Society opens September 15th and runs through September 30th. We'll talk with director Scott Harvey and cast members from the show later in today's program. And auditions for Peter and the Starcatcher are at 7:30 p.m. September 18th and 19th, with callbacks on September 20th at the theater. Go to albanycivic.org for information.
The Elsinore Theater is at elsinoretheater.com. That's where you can go for information about local events and touring shows that are on stage at the Elsinore, or you can check out their Facebook page.
Enlighten Theatrics at enlightentheatrics.org. They are having auditions for James and the Giant Peach, 5 to 9 p.m. September 8th for adult roles, and 9 to 5 a.m. September 9th for kids roles. Callbacks and a dance call will be September 10th. The auditions will be held at the Enlighten Theatrics office at 643 Union Street, Northeast in Salem. Go to enlightentheatrics.org for audition information and to sign up. James and the Giant Peach will run December 10th through 17th at the Grand Theater in downtown Salem. The show is directed by Stephen Munshaw, assisted by vocal director Kent Wilson and choreographer Christopher Dean.
At the Gallery Theater, gallerytheater.org, Matilda the Musical will be on the main stage at Gallery Theater September 8th through October 1st.
Kaiser Homegrown Theater at kaiserhomegrowntheater.org presents an evening of opera September 8th through 10th. Go to Kaiser Homegrown's Facebook page for information.
The Majestic Theater is at majestic.org, and Kander and Ebb's hit musical Cabaret runs November 4th to 19th at the Majestic in downtown Corvallis. Get tickets at majestic.org.
Pinnacle Theater at pinnacletheater.org. Closing September 2nd at Pinnacle is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Check out our KMUZ Theatre Talk podcast for an interview with director Debbie Neal and cast members Christopher Shopes and Victoria Venard to learn more about the show. Also, on September 2nd at Pinnacle Theater are open auditions for the hilarious stage comedy, The Play That Goes Wrong. Check out our KMUZ Theatre Talk podcast with director Susan Shopes for more about the play and auditions. And Joe Dodge's acting workshop for actors 18 and older is at Pinnacle Theater's rehearsal studio in downtown Salem. To sign up, go to tickets.pinnacletheater.org.
The Salem Playhouse also offers acting classes for both kids and adults at Kaiser Homegrown Theater and adult classes at Chemeketa Community College. To sign up, go to thesalemplayhouse.com and click the Classes tab.
Spotlight Community Theater at spotlightct.com. Spotlight is calling for play proposals from directors for their 2023-24 season. Apply now to info@spotlightct.com.
Corbin University is having student auditions for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and those will be held at 4 p.m. September 4th and 6th at Corbin University. Check out Corbin's Facebook page for more information.
Western Oregon University at wou.edu/theater. Western's upcoming season of shows starts with Much Ado About Nothing, November 9th through 18th, directed by Jeb Burris. That's followed by Spring Awakening, February 29th through March 9th, directed by Michael Phillips. And closing out the season will be John Proctor is the Villain, May 29th through June 1st, directed by Risa Fleming.
Willamette University is at wutheater.com, and Willamette's 2023-24 season kicks off October 26th through November 12th with the world premiere of In the Deep, a new musical with book and lyrics by E.M. Lewis and music by Clarence Roscoe McDonald. And that wraps up this week's Theater Talk calendar.
Coming up next, we'll learn all about the Savannah Sipping Society coming to the Albany Civic Theatre. Stay with us. We're here with director Scott Harvey and actors Linda Cashin and Jennifer Moody, and they're going to tell us about their production of the Savannah Sipping Society, opening September 15th at Albany Civic Theatre. Welcome to Theater Talk.
Thanks, Ann.
It's good to have you guys here. This is another one of the hit shows from Jones, Hopes, and Wooten. Scott Harvey, you're the director of this show. What attracted you to this particular show to bring it to the Albany Civic Stage?
Well, I found this in the back of another script that I was perusing, and I saw that title, and it's like, okay, I've got to go check this out. So this is just going to be too much fun, just from the little parts I had read out of it.
Linda, why don't you give us a brief synopsis of the play?
Sure. This is one of those character pieces that's about the relationships between the four women who get together in it. It starts out in a yoga studio, which is a bust for all of us, but the friendships that are made from that point on are a real win. And I play Jinx, who's the life coach, and she gets the four of them to try all sorts of fun things, salsa dancing and a Renaissance fair, all sorts of fun things. And we find that as we become closer and closer friends, that life becomes better and better. And that's really the point of this whole show, is that you don't have to grow old silently and gracefully. You can have a blast, but you need to have some friends to help you do it.
That sounds great. Jennifer, what character do you play?
My character's name is Randa Covington, and she's recently been fired. And because all she's ever done with her life is work, that's just really thrown her into a complete tailspin. She doesn't know who she is or how to relate to the rest of the world outside of her career. And she has no idea even how to get started. So Linda's character is an absolute godsend for that, although she doesn't think so to begin with.
And who are the other characters?
One of the other characters is Dot, who is very much the Betty White of the ensemble. She's an older woman who has recently lost her husband and trying to regroup from that. And she's the one who's the most interested in revitalizing herself and everyone around her. She's the first one to say, yes, I'll try that. The first one to be excited about getting involved. She's a wonderful character.
And who plays that part?
It's Alice Tucker who plays Dot.
And who is the other character, Linda?
That is Marla Faye Mosley, played by the amazing Pat Jensen. She is a 57-year-old divorced Texan. Her husband had recently left her for a 23-year-old dental hygienist. And the way that she knew that her husband was having an affair was he had started flossing regularly. So she's just a riot.
What do you hope the audience is going to take away from this show, Scott?
Well, I hope they go home laughing and realizing that some of the situations in here are so real to life.
You know, one of the things that comes out really strongly in this script for me is that middle-aged women often feel invisible. unseen, unsupported. Maybe they've had their husbands pass, or they've been divorced, or their roles have changed in life. Their parents have died and they've been caregivers, and they don't know who they are anymore. And it's hard to feel valued and valuable. And I think this show does such a beautiful job of showing that you can find that value in yourself and in others and in friendships, that your life isn't over in your mid 50s or 60s or even 70s. There's still plenty of pizzazz to be had out of life.
And I think the relationships are important, and maybe audiences will take away the idea that they need to have relationships with people.
Absolutely. One of my character's lines is, it's never too late to make new old friends.
And it's called the Savannah Sipping Society. Do y'all have Southern accents?
Yes, ma'am.
I watched Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil and tried to adapt my voice to theirs.
And I just happen to be a native Georgian, so I just slipped back into my roots. Dot is from Oklahoma and Marla Faye is from Texas. So between the four of us, we've got the whole Southland covered.
Jennifer, what do you think is the most important thing that the women learn from their 6 months together?
That friendships make the difference, that having somebody there for you makes the difference. It's not what you're doing or where you're doing it or what the romantic ties are in your life or what your job was. It's who can you count on to be by your side when you need somebody to talk to. And we have found each other, as unlikely a group as we are from all different parts of the South anyway, and different things that we've done in life. And it doesn't matter because we're all there as we learn about each other and spend time together and do new things together. We come together as friends to love and support one another. And that is really what it's all about. And that we each have our own trials and our own hardships, but we say to one another, we're not going anywhere. We haven't given up on you yet. We're here. And that is, having that kind of support system is what we need, and also that can be developed wherever you are. You can find a way to make that for yourself, and that's really the key.
What do you think's been holding them back?
That's a good question, but I think before that we were simply, as characters, all on our separate paths. My character was simply completely career focused and didn't have another outlet. Dot and her husband, while he was alive, were each other's steadfast support and comfort, but now he's gone and she's at a loss. I suspect that Marla Faye's husband was not so much of a support and a helpmate, but he was also all she knew until he was out of the picture. And Jinx has always been a free spirit, but has used what she's learned to help all of us and herself find a way forward together in a way that she has never contemplated before. So it's not so much, I think, that the characters were not doing that beforehand. They were just unaware that there was perhaps another way.
So Linda, is there a particular point in the play where things change for these characters? I mean, they meet at a impromptu happy hour, but what's the fulcrum around which the play revolves?
I think when they decided to hire me as their life coach, or at least my character, and go out and start trying new things. Jennifer's character, Randa, is not excited about it, but when she describes the kind of person who might need a life coach, she pretty much describes herself. So at that point, we all start working together. And I think, the first time, things go well, it's good. But as we start trying more things together, that's when it really starts to click. And then towards the end, my character has always been a free spirit, like Jennifer said. She's like, well, my time here is gone. I'm going to leave. And the three other women say, why are you still running? What's going on with that? And that's that kind of brings my character to the place of, hey, maybe I don't need to, maybe I can stay and be part of this group and have roots for the first time in my life. So there's several places in the play where things kind of connect and snap for each one of us.
It sounds like group therapy.
It is.
In a way, yeah.
But with booze.
A lot of booze.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
goodness. Yes. We've been trying to keep track. It's like 8 or 9 different drinks during the course of the show. Not all
The number
alcohol.
of glasses used in this show is insane.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. It's just great fun. It is definitely a comedy, and it's meant to be a comedy, but there are some very poignant moments that are important for the characters as life lessons, but I hope for the audience too. But they'll laugh as they take them in.
It's been interesting, Anne, as we have gone through the rehearsal process, several of us in the cast have actually had kind of life experiences happening. My sister is dealing with a tumor. Alice's daughter just got married. So we're actually, as a cast, even though we just met each other, have been doing that same bonding and group support and group therapy as our characters have. So it's been just an amazing situation.
That's wonderful.
The Savannah Sipping Society, directed by Scott Harvey, plays at Albany Civic Theatre September 15th through 30th. There are matinee performances on the 17th and the 24th, otherwise evening performances for the show. You can get your tickets at albanycivic.org. Go see the show. It is a laugh-a-minute production. And I want to thank Jennifer Moody and Linda Cashin, the two actors that were with us from the show today, and Scott Harvey, the director. Thanks so much for spending your time here on Theater Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a great time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
It's time to wind up today's KMUZ Theater Talk program. Thank you for joining us. Next week at 9 a.m., you can tune in to Talking About Art with Joel Zach. KMUZ Theater Talk is a proud member of the Salem Theater Network.
KMUZ Theater Talk airs at 9 a.m. the first and third Friday of the month at 100.7 and 88.5 FM, and on your favorite radio app or on demand at kmuz.org. You can also listen to our KMUZ Theater Talk podcast anytime on your PC, mobile device, smart speaker, or in your car, wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our shows.
Ed and I will return September 15th with a brand new KMUZ Theater Talk program. Meanwhile, check our Theater Talk Facebook page for news and updates about live theater in the Mid-Willamette Valley.
And if you haven't yet joined in to support Theater Talk and the rest of KMUZ's great community radio programs, go to kmuz.org right now and click the Contribute button at the top of the page. And thanks. Until next time,
We'll see you in the front row.